the Boy Scouts of America are a dead letter. And that's always what the American left wanted to do to that organization. In the last couple of years here on the show, Todd has reintroduced us to a word of yesteryear when we were smarter as a people, and kids used to use these words in schoolyards. And now we as the adults have to Google them because we don't know what it means. All right. But the word Todd reintroduced us to was iconoclast. And that's a nice multi-syllable fancy word for I want to smash your stained glass windows. That's really what it means. I want to crush your relics in history. I want to end your way of life. That's really what it means. And all of the lawsuits and challenges to the Boy Scouts, you know, I predicted this and I wasn't alone. Anybody who's any student of history could have told you the day that they succumbed, it was the end. Mark the time. That was it. It was just a matter of you're mortally wounded, and it's just a matter of when you're done bleeding out. And it goes to show from a worldview perspective a couple of key points that I don't think in the era in which we live, we can reinforce them enough. Number one, the darkness has no interest in sharing with the light. It's lying to you. And then the minute that it feels as if it has the advantage, it will teach you that you will be made to care. That every time you turn onto Tolerance Boulevard, it is a one-way street. Or, in this case, a dead end. And that its claims of neutrality and syncretistic sharing and diversity are always is a tough word, but not in this case. Always a lie. Always. It is always a lie right from the pit of hell. It's always a lie. And once it has you disarmed, once it has you thinking, you know, maybe I can get out of this without offending people or losing family members or career opportunities, or, you know, I found the third way. You know, I instead of the magic bullet theory of the Warren Commission, the magic philosophy theory. I found the one way to zig and zag and zoom and found a way to not offend the very forces that want to end our way of life while still pretending to believe the things they're most offended by. No, you did not. No, you did not. And you can't ever please them. Which brings me to point number 2. You cannot ever please this movement, force. So don't try. Don't even try. Now, that doesn't mean go out there and be, you know, a bunch of bungholes, a bunch of jerkwads, okay? A bunch of scruffy-looking nerf herders on purpose. That doesn't mean we go out there and on purpose attempt to repel people that maybe if we gave them a chance to consider what we offer, they would agree with. That's not what it means. What it means, though, is that's being conscientious and a good steward of your testimony, of your platform, of your philosophy, of your values. Nothing wrong with that, okay? But just know, though, that if you spend any amount of time more concerned with how you're going to say it as opposed to what you're going to say, you have already lost this argument. There is no pleasing this because the terms are thus. You slit your throat or we will do it for you. All these leftists, all these pagans that wanted to paganize and sodomize the Boy Scouts of America, where were they lining up to pay their legal fees and legal bills? They clearly have the money. Look at the amount of money Pete Buttigieg can raise from Podunk, BFE, Indiana, to run for president. And according to 538, we'll get to that in a moment, win not another state the rest of the way. And dude is still a printing press. So don't tell me those lefties don't have the money for this. They do. But they didn't exactly line up Once they got the boys, they pressured the Boy Scouts and cornered them into reversing the jersey. They didn't necessarily line up to bail them out, did they? No. Tano looked at him and said, "What do you mean we, Lone Ranger?" Because the plan was never, ever to bend the Boy Scouts to a more tolerant 2.0, but to end it altogether. Because that's their plan corporately for American civilization. To end it all together. And any pillar, any institution that seeks to conserve, defend, preserve those foundations of Americana, you're next if you're not already under fire. And understand, you cannot negotiate your way out. There's no negotiating. The Klingons don't take prisoners. The deal is you slit your throat or they do it for you. And this goes for 90% of the Republicans you elect, which are as useful as mammary glands on a bull, sitting around in their cloakrooms on Capitol Hill and their caucus rooms at your state house, game planning out how they're going to do the things, any of the stuff you want them to do without angering the forces that would never in a million years, never, ever vote for them. Ever. Ever. No matter what. Because the terms, again, are thus. You slit your throat or they do it for you. Those are the terms of surrender. That's it. And somebody over at the Boy Scouts forgot to be prepared. Let this be a cautionary tale. And if you're at a network that wants to challenge these people, your advertisers are boycotted, a Fox, where your hosts are targeted for banishment like a Blaze or a Daily Wire, just pick a place. Let the Boy Scouts be a lesson to you. Our answer is not just no, but bleep, bleep, no. Nope. No. And you're welcome to do your worst. We will not placate. We will not subjugate. Because we'll get nothing out of it if you do. You'll get nothing out of it if you do. Nothing. You slit your throat, or they do it for you.